We continue to track the very latest on the disappearance and search for Nancy Guthrie as we reach 33 days since she was taken from her home. In a new development today, the FBI paid another visit to Nancy Guthrie's Catalina Foothills home. That happened earlier this afternoon. And that is an image of the federal agents at the scene around 2 p.m. Our Andrew Capasso was there and tells us the agents are they're saying that they were following up on tips and leads. They went on to say this is simply standard procedure. And as the investigation continues in the search of Nancy Guthrie, News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia sat down with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos today, asking the questions you, our viewers, sent to us. She joins us live from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And Monica, what did the sheriff reveal to you today?
We began by asking what role digital evidence could play in the case.
Cell phone data, pings, cameras. I mean, how much are you guys leading into that information, that evidence?
You know, it could be a cell tower dump, could be analyzing a cell phone.
So there is still digital evidence that you guys are waiting on to receive?
Well, we're analyzing all the time, yes.
We also asked about the more than...
Mother-in-law Thomas O stopped by that makeshift memorial outside their mother's home. The three were clearly emotional as they hugged each other and left a note. Savannah later posted a picture of the memorial on her Instagram and wrote, "We feel the love and prayers from our neighbors, from the Tucson community, and from around the country. Please don't stop praying and hoping with us. Bring her home." Now, investigators are still searching for the clue that could break this case open, but for now, Nancy's disappearance remains a mystery. I'm joined now by the...
New developments this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Law enforcement says they are looking into new evidence near her home in Tucson, Arizona. Authorities say they are looking into a damaged utility box near the home. Investigators say the equipment could be connected to a reported internet outage in the area around the time she vanished. The outage may have disrupted nearby surveillance systems, potentially affecting video evidence that could have helped track down the suspect. Authorities say they are close to a breakthrough, but much of the evidence remains confidential. Nancy Guthrie was reported missing more than a month ago. The family is offering a $1 million reward.
Okay, now you guys can hear me. I still need to get that fixed. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry, I'm struggling here. There we go. Okay, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. If you can, hit that like button. Real quick, I know I originally had a live setup for Sebastian Rogers. I had to postpone that, unfortunately. I want to make sure whatever I put out is correct and verified before I make a very big leap in the case. So be patient, and I'll let you guys know. We'll do a live on Sebastian coming up here in a few days or so, unless I figure out more about the thing that was sent to me. So anyway. Okay, you guys can hear me. Awesome. So, again, I apologize that I had a live for Sebastian and unfortunately had to postpone it. But, again, I want to make sure whatever I put out to you guys, it's verified information. And, yeah. All right. So, back to the Nancy Guthrie case. Here we are, I think, day 37. It's Tuesday for you. Holy cow, that's crazy. Oh, now I lost my train of thought. So here we are, day 37, I believe. They say allegedly they're getting closer. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some updates. But there are something about a utility box that was tampered with. This comes out just after they mentioned multiple neighbors coming forward and saying that one guy came forward and said that his Ring camera was did not have any footage on January 31st and February 1st, which, when it comes to true crime, they say there's no coincidences. And that wasn't the only person. There was, I'm not sure how many exactly, but multiple neighbors reported an outage. And then today was reported very early on about a utility box. And I'll show where all of that is at. And would that be connected to this case? I think there's strong, very strong possibility it could be connected. Yes, yeah, doing short videos definitely get you more subscribers versus doing live shows. It's just kind of the way it is. So, yeah, I've been doing shorts, and yeah, oh man, it'd be so cool to hit that 100,000. Been doing this 4 years, and yeah, that'd be really cool. All right, but and then as well, but thank you, Sassy. I appreciate that. And thank you to all my wonderful mods for the support you guys do. All right, we'll go over just the quick timeline, just in case anybody doesn't know about this case, which I'm sure most of you do. And also, I've been working on, because I think a lot of you guys know, I love trying to break down surveillance footage. I know this surveillance in this case has been out for quite a while, and most of it's kind of been dissected, but there's a tattoo on the suspect's right wrist, and we believe it could be like a cross or a sword or something. Anyway, I went in and I did some different color enhancing. No AI, because I think sometimes people think that you can AI enhance everything. And that's not typically the case. Sometimes AI will actually just try to interpret it in its own way. And anyway, so, but yeah, so I got that as well that I'll show you guys. So let's get into it though. If you can, hit the like button as you come in. Blue Third, thank you for all you do, Chris. Thank you so much. And again, I know I've already said this. I apologize. We will be covering Sebastian, but I don't want to be too hasty on the information that was sent to me. I want to make sure I verify, because it could be really big or it could be just a misunderstanding, I think. One of the two. All right, so on to Nancy Guthrie.
And playing games with the.
So, just a quick rundown of the timeline for anybody that doesn't know. January 31st of this year, she takes an Uber to her daughter and her son-in-law. They have dinner and play games. She traveled there at 5:32, taking the Uber there. And then about 3 hours later, son-in-law, Tommaso, drives her home. A lot of people are looking into him as well as his bandmates. And then we have the garage door where she is dropped off, pictured here at 9:48, and 2 minutes later it registers it closing. I've mentioned this many times, but people question. I believe that's a red flag considering her condition. She's 84 years old, had a little bit of trouble walking. Some people think that 2 minutes is kind of fast. I do think that is an interesting red flag there. And then we have early in the morning, a 1:47, the doorbell, her Google Nest camera disconnects. But I think this suspect or suspects had definitely been there prior to that. This is just when it recorded. This particular device, whenever it disconnects, it logs. It puts a log. With Google Nest, it has a cloud system, and there's certain things that if triggered, such as it being disconnected, it will log that. So that is why they have that 1:47 a.m. log. Then the next thing we have is 25 minutes later at 2:12, software detects a person on camera. Now, it always kind of felt like when they first mentioned this, they were talking about the same camera, but no, it is actually the camera that, oops. Oh, I have this. Boy, that's fast. Pause. That's her backyard. That's the garage door right there. And it appears that she also had a camera system up there that they recovered. We don't know what footage is on it, if any, which would be very interesting, but at the very least, it detected movement. Then the next thing that happens, which is 16 minutes later, is her pacemaker disconnects from her app on her phone, meaning she's 30 feet approximately, give or take, from her phone, her pacemaker, and the app. I think it's 30 feet approximately, give or take. Could be confused with yards, but I'm pretty sure it's feet. And then she was supposed to do something that Sunday morning with church. She did not. Oops. Unfortunately, she did not make it, and then the family got notified, and then 911 was called. And we have the ransom, which I think is interesting to talk about because I think this will kind of connect to one theory I have, as in a possible background of the suspects or suspect or suspect's knowledge as far as tech and everything. If everything that's been mentioned is all connected. Let me know if you think there was multiple ransoms that were put out. There was one original one that went to a local News 13 outlet. Apparently, it did have some inside information, such as where the Apple Watch was located. It also mentioned something about the floodlights outside being tampered with. But they gave a deadline, and they wanted $4 million in Bitcoin. I do believe the first one, in my opinion, I think it's real. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But February 5th, so she was taken on February 1st. February 5th was the first deadline. And I don't think it's no coincidence that on February 4th, pretty sure it was February 4th, is when we got this video here. And this is just a shortened version of it.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So I find that interesting. I don't know why they would make that, unless it's an inside job, then of course. But if, say the very inner circle family is not connected, or at least Savannah and the siblings don't know, I don't know why they would say that. Again, that they would pay unless the ransom was real.
We will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
pause it there real quick here. It looks like a tomato. You mean Tommaso? I don't know if it looks like Tommaso. Tommaso is very tall, Miriam. I think he's closer to a tomato than a Tommaso, but you never know. I'm just kidding with you, but I wonder if that was um the phone. Still think the son-in-law is involved. Yeah, it's possible. So we have the suspects: approximate height 5'9" to 5'10", average build, possibly an Ozark Trail hiker backpack. Yeah, autocorrect.
Indeed, 2 intruders caught on the Nest camera. But before I do that,
damn tomatoes. All right. So also I did more research on which came first, the chicken or the egg. Now, of course, it was said that this image was first, and then the 2 videos that came after. Actually, 3 videos technically. One was like 3 seconds where he's walking with his head down, and then the other 2. So technically, 1 still image and 3 short videos. And anyway, I did some more research on this particular camera, how far back it goes. I've kind of gone over this before. I don't know. I don't know if I can go there, Michelle. I got to be. But yeah.
I need to break down all the videos and the still image in the order of events. This will be very important as to why I think the FBI and other agencies might be withholding certain information from the public. So here is the 3 videos and image released by the FBI. Now here they are in the order I believe they happen, and pay close attention. So we have the still image that I believe came first, where I believe they first attempted to take the camera down but was unsuccessful. Then we have the intruder coming back with more tools, but this video is very short. Then it cuts to the intruder trying to block the camera, then walking over to the brush. And this is very important, as just before this video cuts, something gets his attention. At the same time, we see something in the background. You can see a set of lights in the background, and this gets the attention of the intruder. I believe this could have been
in this particular direction. Now, obviously, there's only so many directions the guy could look, as far as this way, right? Left or right or straight, when it comes down to it. But keep in mind the direction that he looks in, because this will be important for the cable line or the utility box. Could all be connected. But anyway, that is looking east, right? East. Yeah, so this is north, more or less, kind of at an angle, but this is north. To the right is east. Just keep that in mind.
A signal to a second intruder. Now notice that this video ends just as the intruder looks over at something or someone. It then cuts to the intruder using the brush to block the camera, but why?
I thought Tommaso was like 6 feet. Unless we're thinking about a different person. The other bandmates are shorter. But I'm pretty sure Tommaso is somewhere around 6 feet. Well, we'll look down the suspect list a little bit later, but I want to get the timeline and this whole new evidence, potential evidence out, and try to put it together. Tommaso is 5'10"? I mean, I'm not going to argue because I've never seen like an actual, height thing. But anyway, yeah, we'll break down the footage. If you're new here, we at the end I'll go in and we'll actually look at, like, slow it down. I heard some murmuring of potentially seeing a beard through the mask. Let me know if you heard that in the chat, or yeah, from other channels. I thought I heard that last night.
Why did the video cut there?
Okay, time back, Chris. Oh, okay, so he is shorter than Savannah. Oh, interesting. So yes. Oh, so I swear people have put like close to 6 feet in chat. Interesting.
Was this all they could retrieve, or did the FBI make a cut there on purpose? So in the final video, we can see that the intruder...
Do we know, not to get distracted, do we know how tall Savannah is? Like for sure?
is now using the brush to block the camera. But why not use your hand like before, or even your body? I believe there was a cut from the second video to this one on purpose. And I will show you the evidence that, in my opinion, shows a second intruder.
If anybody knows a good video where he's walking towards the camera at all, let me know. Email me and I can overlay it with this guy here. And I'll tell you. Savannah's 5'10". Oh, okay.
Next to the first one. As we look at the third and final video, we can see that the intruder...
Okay, so obviously we've gone over the order of events with the surveillance. Now, this is important because...
clearly has some brush in his left hand.
The first part of this is I'm going to go over... I've gone over this a little bit before, but I'm going to bring up an interesting question. I'm curious to see what you guys say in chat. We'll get to the suspects a little bit later. I promise you. And if anybody can just let me know if there's a video. I know there's one where they're kind of like walking. I may even have it. It's kind of hard if I know there's one where they're kind of like walking with their hands together. So I don't know if that's going to be the best one, but there's one where he's walking without, anyone right next to him. I could maybe try to overlay it.
To the left, I have a still shot of the front door where the Nest Cam would be. But notice that there is something that comes into the frame on the right-hand side. It's tough to tell what the object is, but I don't think this came from the door or the bracket that the Nest Cam is on.
Oh, yeah, that's a good... Yeah, that's right, Rebecca. Yeah, I've seen that video. I just, again, I always play devil's advocate. So this is where I am going with this while I went over the order. And this is something I caught very early on, that there was something wrong.
Here, watch this. Watch.
Okay, Megan, I've installed the Nest doorbell camera on our door to the garage.
This video is really important.
And what's interesting is it comes with a little tab. Just a little flat tab, almost like a tip of a screwdriver, really. And that's how you remove it from the top. So you just push down and it clicks right off. Sorta. There it goes. So it pulls right off that way.
He takes that off with just a little piece of metal, and he actually takes it off without even using the little tool. He does that right after this. So these things can just come right off. This particular Google Nest camera, battery operated, keep in mind. Very important. So, one of the things I noticed early on was when looking at the still image versus the videos, and I know we've gone over this, but this is important, and this is an important question too. And when did it happen? And I'm pretty sure I've Googled this a lot. I've chat GPT'd it. And everything comes up with the same exact answer. So anyway, I can give you an approximate time of when that still image was taken. It's not going to be too much of a surprise. But then there's also the question of why. But we have the still image, right? And the first thing because I wanted to overlay and see if I could capture the guy kind of walking in the same area. And when I went to overlay, immediately, I mean, you can see it here. If you just look at the direction of the tiles, unless this one I already lined up. Actually, I may have this one. No, it's not lined up yet. But you can see the direction the tiles are off. So when this guy came, the suspect, either the same guy or a different one, which was before this guy on the right went and disabled it, whether same guy or not, this individual at this time with the still image, he tampered with the camera. He handled it. And he must have just barely, I'm trying to find something. He just probably barely kind of like tweaked it just a little bit. Because if the camera was obviously in the same spot, never moved or anything, that still image, I should just be able to take that still image and overlay it to the video, and there should be no difference. But when that happens,
when overlaying this image to the video, I thought it would be best to line up some objects.
Oh, I did kind of tweak it a little bit. But clearly it had been moved with. And that's a huge, important detail. And here, if you guys are wondering, here is an overlay.
Overlaid pretty well. Please keep in mind it's hard to get a perfect 1-to-1 match.
So I overlaid this still image.
On the right, I have the regular.
Tried to get the lights lined up just right, and the plant here. I can't say it's like a 1-to-1 100%, but it's darn near close.
Regular size video overlaid with the image, but on the right I zoomed in so you can see better details. But I believe there is a difference in size and height between the suspect in the still image and the suspect in the video, which
I'm 50-50 on it. I think it could be the same guy. I could definitely see it.
I will show here in this next clip. As you can see here, as the suspect is walking back towards the plant, you can see he is nearly in the same area as the suspect in the image. Yet the person,
like right there, I mean, they are pretty head-to-head, although his neck is down. I will say he is a little bit closer to the camera, and every inch he gets closer, that means he's going to look taller. So there is that.
Person in the video, although keeping his head down for most part, he seems taller, and possibly wider as well. Let's take another look. Here, I even run a negative filter to flush out the still image versus the video, and you can really see the two suspects much better. You will notice here, when he stands up straight, you can see he is a bit taller, although he is slightly.
And again, I'm back and forth on it. I could
slightly closer to the camera. It does appear as if they are two different suspects. Here I will put a static line where the suspect in the video stood back up.
So again, the only argument I have to make, though, of course, to play both sides is you can see his feet, he's not standing in the same exact spot. So, that is tough. But there he does appear taller, but of course he is slightly closer to the camera. But yeah, let me know what you think in chat, but it's definitely possible. Different night. I'll have an argument to that. And I will show you. I think it's the same night, and I will provide some context and,
It does appear there could be a difference in height. It does also appears as if there is slight difference in the width of the two suspects as well. I put two static lines on the suspect in the video from both sides of their waist. Although it's harder to tell, it is possible they are two different persons. Please let me know what you see and think down in the comments below.
Yeah, So
Here's
there's an
one final
overlay
look
on
between the
that.
two. It does appear there are still.
Okay. So this guy, no matter what, whether you want to say is the day prior, 2 days prior, but that's most likely not the case, and I will show you why here in a minute. But no matter what, irrelevant. We just know that this was taken before, and this person handled. Excuse me. We know this person handled the camera, right? They handled it because they moved it ever so slightly to change the view from when we see the suspect the next time. So what was the purpose, right? Because some people thought, oh, well, this person was scouting, right? He was just kind of scouting the area to check. But here's the question on that. If it was just a scout and come back another night, why would he handle the camera? Why would he touch it? Like, why would he, because clearly he handled it. So was this a test to see if you go up, find out that there is a Ring camera, or maybe you already knew that it was there, and you test it, and maybe say an inside job, maybe you had her notifications turned off, or made sure they were off, or if it was an outside job. Because remember, typically people would get notified. Typically, if you have a motion Ring camera, a lot of people have their notifications turned on. But apparently, it seems like Nancy Guthrie didn't, which is interesting. But again, this suspect at this time not just scouted, but actually handled the camera. So was they, again, did they kind of handle it and then back off and then go and wait and see if, someone come to the door, or, a cop comes by? I think so too, David. I think so as well. 100%. 100%. So I've done this research, and I encourage you guys, if you want, check it out. It's not hard to Google. We know this came before, right? The image. Some people think it's from a different night. Yes, I know it was a full moon, but the moon is slowly coming up at that time. Yet it was like, I'd have to go look. I don't want to say a particular number on where it was at the horizon versus the horizon. But I think it was the same night, in my opinion. And according to ChatGPT, when you look at the subscription, again, it can only record up to 3 hours increments when it doesn't have a subscription, and then it just rewrites itself. So whatever the last known event, which is him, going to disconnect it with the shrub, whatever there was 3 hours prior to that will show up, but anything longer than that, it's gone because it's been rewritten over. The event where he is doing his thing with the brush would have started deleting the last 3 hours. Again, you can look this up. If you disagree, agree to disagree on that, but I've looked it up on the Google AI. I've looked it up on ChatGPT, and it's all the same answer. The Nest camera, no, if it's from this one. Yes, this one right here. as you can see, up to 3 hours earlier. If the camera is disconnected at 1:47, I gave it everything, the model, and of course it knows a little bit about the case. Even ChatGPT says it's we'll go back to 3 hours at best without a subscription. So again, yeah, if you guys don't think about, if you guys disagree, that's like I said, you guys can check it out for yourself. But so I think it is from the same night. And what's interesting is if you think about the time, and again, he handled the camera. So again, it wasn't like he showed up a night before and was scouting. He walked up to that camera and handled it almost like he was trying to take it off, or a test as well. And then I think it's interesting because again, this is all going to come circling back to the utility box, right? So finds out that there's a Nest Cam there, or knew about it and maybe tried to disconnect it, but didn't have luck the first time. Now, even though we have a 1:47 a.m. disconnect, that doesn't mean we go back 3 hours from 1:47, right? He could have been there for quite some time. And so it's certainly possible that he was there 9:30, 10 p.m. just before she arrived home. Because in this picture, clearly, no matter what night you think it is, her front porch lights, which are these ones here, are definitely not on. So whenever he showed up, whether you think it's another night or it was that same night, which I think, man, it fits that timeline, especially if you're thinking like an inside job, like they show up just before she's coming home. Maybe, it was to take the camera off and then, to have that all ready to go. But something failed there. But again, if this happened at 1:47, but yet, the motion started more closer to 1 or a little bit before, and then depending on how long this lasted, I'm assuming it would have at very least, and maybe that's why we just have the image.
You don't need to do that. You actually just with a little.
New. It was only an image. Okay, I have something I have to look up on ChatGPT. Okay, interesting. I'll explain what I'm thinking later.
Bit of force. You can pull it right off. That might show different.
Here, so slightly inside the front porch.
But yeah, again, I know it was a full moon, more or less. But no matter what, the front porch lights were not on when he showed up, or at least in the still image. The front porch lights are now
Before
on.
I do that, I need to.
And I do think the full moon is now at that point. I think it's at 1:47. I think it's a little bit past. I forget the exact verbiage. I'll have to look at it, but at a particular horizon.
Break down all the videos and the still image in the order of
azimuth. Anyway, but the shadow, when I ran it through ChatGPT, there's the other thing that kind of argues that the lighting that's coming from this, even though a full moon in certain circumstances would cause a shadow, I believe. It says how predominant this shadow is, suggests that this is likely coming from the front porch light and the direction. Again, that You can't take everything that, AI tells you as fact. It can definitely be influenced. But
we
anyway,
turn now.
So now, coming full circle, now we get to the cable box. Because I do wonder if he or both of them, if there's more than one, walked up, either knew or didn't know there was a ring cam, saw it, couldn't disconnect it the first time, and or panicked and thought, oh, we need to go maybe cut the Wi-Fi in the area. And again, this is way out of my wheelbox as far as expertise when it comes to cable lines and but I did show images to ChatGPT, and it was able to kind of give me an idea of what this utility box is kind of for, and it is for internet, phone service, and such. And anyway, let me play these videos so I can read chat. I'm sorry, I've been rambling on. I've been trying to kind of circle back to this new detail about the internet outage that multiple neighbors have mentioned. Again, I don't think it's a coincidence. And now we have this utility box. And if you don't know where it happened, I will show you here in just a minute. I'll go full screen on this, and so that we can read chat here. So.
To the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie, now entering day 37. Pima County Sheriff's Department officials confirming they are now investigating a damaged utility box around the corner from Guthrie's home. Investigators say the equipment could be connected to a reported internet outage in the area around the time she disappeared. The outage may have disrupted nearby surveillance systems, potentially affecting video evidence. A reminder, if you have any information that could be helpful, we urge you to call that tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
New developments this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Law enforcement says they are looking into new evidence near her home in Tucson, Arizona. Authorities say they are looking into a damaged utility box near the home. Investigators say the equipment could be connected to a reported internet outage in the area around the time she vanished. The outage may have disrupted nearby surveillance systems, potentially affecting video evidence that could have helped track down the suspect. Authorities say they are close to a breakthrough, but much of the evidence remains confidential. Nancy Guthrie.
So I find that interesting, the wording they say, close to a breakthrough, which is interesting. I'm assuming that's probably DNA related, or maybe some kind of, I don't know, maybe with the people, they're going through all those cars and stuff. Maybe they found a lead there. My main one would be probably DNA. Because obviously that was sent over a long time ago, but they allegedly had issues with it. It faces north, kind of at an angle. We're looking at it right now. So here is a map. Now, obviously, this is due north right here. Now, our house is right here, so it's kind of facing northwest a little bit, north by northwest. And the moon comes up east, and it would have been, I went over it. It would be a little bit on the left side, I think, if I recall. And then sits down in the west. But here is the distance. Check this out. This is 2 minutes away, half a mile away. That's her home. And it's literally right down the road, Camino. And right here is where that utility box was found. So, now I was wondering, okay, well, it's not far, but it's like not right next door. But of course, I have no idea about how all these utility boxes work and stuff. So thank God for Chat GPT and kind of explaining, because there are multiple utility boxes that sit around these homes, but they act like a tree branch, right? They kind of branch out. So you can technically, I guess, if you cut certain wires, this one in particular, um, is telephone. I'll have it here. It's going to pop up here in just a second. So there it is. And I'll even show you on the street here just to show you guys. Oh, I don't know why it wants to back me out when I do that. It's not nice. But here we have her home. And if we just take a short little drive down here. Oh, oh, is that it? Nope, next one. One more. Did I go past it already? I probably just went past it, didn't I? I certainly did. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Okay. There it is. There's the one that got tampered with. Now, apparently, you need a special. Obviously, you can't just open these things up, considering especially the fact that they got telephone lines and cables and stuff, with internet, fiber cables as well. And I'm assuming, your cable providers, that technicians that come out probably have special keys that open these particular boxes. Looks like some people have used it for target practice, which is kind of sad. But this is the one that was tampered with. And again, if we back out, oh, yeah, if we back out, it's not that far away. And so my question was, well, even though it wasn't right next to her home, it's still pretty close, just 2 minutes away, drive time. And there was definitely there's a better, clear image of when we played the video there, seen here where you can see the damage. And so I basically asked it, what can you tell me about this? And I'm back. And more or less these, over that. Okay. So what the wiring appears to be telecommunications, copper, DSL, legacy phone. As far, and I think as far as it's says this one could have been an amplifier, but Wi-Fi still works locally, but no internet, which is interesting. But yes, this would cause Ring cameras to go offline, Google Nest cameras to go offline. But remember, hers was a battery one. So maybe they didn't know that. I guess that would lean more towards maybe an outside, as far as suspects, maybe not as inner circle. But it would suggest, if connected, that at the very least, these individuals, if there's more than one involved, and again, if this was connected, that they have, some kind of, you know, experience, or know somebody that does. Maybe if there's two of them, one knows this kind of stuff with wiring stuff. And I think it's interesting, and to come full circle, is if we go back to the I had an image, but if we, well, I guess this is a perfect example. If we think about it, assuming same night, this individual sees there is a Ring camera, maybe a fish first tries to tamper with it or test it to see if somebody shows up. Either way, and then leaves, and then has a vehicle clearly nearby somewhere, and then they or their partner has a backpack. Because I find it interesting that the backpack looks, I had a picture, oh, there it is. The backpack looks full, right? Which is interesting. Like, they had a bunch of different equipment, right? Probably to break into the home as well. But be interesting if they had, some kind of bolt cutters, wire cutters, whatever kind of tools to break into a home, and or this utility box. But it is interesting, inside job or not. What are the odds that something's tampered with, half a mile away, that does affect the area? Yet, because she had, again, remember, she didn't have, one that's wired to like a modem or a router. She had a Wi-Fi that was battery operated. So, is that the reason why her particular, this particular device did not disconnect because it was battery operated? I don't know. Just something to think about. Again, a lot of this is way out of my wheelhouse, but I definitely think this, then you combine with the walkie-talkie, if it's not a Wi-Fi jammer, that we're definitely dealing with at very least two suspects in this case. Let's see. Yeah, Pocahontas. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that was one of the things I know. I'm sure, of course, a lot of people noticed. But yeah, I would say, after covering this for a couple weeks, when I was kind of looking at the backpack, I thought it was interesting. Like, gosh, why is it so full? Like, it looks, like full. Like, there's no room to, like, if you were, I mean, look at this. I mean, this thing is, it's not sunken in, like right there. I have a backpack just like it. Actually, no, mine's full. It's in the other room. No, it's not quite full. Anyway, it would be pretty smushed up, right? Unless I had like one thing like laying sideways, but I mean, that thing looks full. And so, yeah, like, if you're gonna be breaking in and like taking jewelry and stuff, yeah, why would you have a full backpack? I believe it was pre-planned. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think. Does that is that Oh, David, oh, I know a little bit about what you're saying. Um and I still need to learn more about, because again, that's so out of my wheelhouse. But I kind of know what you're trying to say, like the diagram. Um, yeah, it's a great question because it says it's like a branch, the way these utility boxes work. Um, so and yeah, there's particular ones. The one where it's kind of it's actually in the video here where you can see it really good. Let me go back. There's two videos that and they're so short. Yeah, let me play these videos. It's either this one or the second one. They're both just like 40 seconds.
County Sheriff's Department officials confirming they are now investigating a damaged utility box around the corner from Guthrie's home.
But thanks, Bushi.
Investigators say the equipment could be connected to a reported internet outage in the area around the time she disappeared. The outage may have disrupted nearby surveillance systems, potentially affecting video evidence. A reminder, if you have any information that could be helpful, we urge you to call that tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at stuff. Okay, yeah, I think it's this
New
video
developments
here.
this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Law enforcement says they are looking into new evidence near her home in Tucson, Arizona. Authorities say they are looking into a damaged utility box near the home. Investigators say the equipment could be connected to a reported internet outage.
Yeah, so that's a really good look at what happened. And again, I sent this screenshot to ChatGPT, and it told me, yeah, these are, kind of like phone lines, DSL lines, and I think maybe fiber cables might be in there. Again, this is a little, not a little, but way out of my wheelhouse. I wish I had my cousin. He's an electrician. He'd know this a lot better, but, yeah, it appears this, I believe it's this one here that got yanked out, and then it looks like they yanked, not cut, but you like yanked a bunch of cables. I don't know. Maybe you could argue both. Well, maybe they had enough knowledge to. I mean, if they broke into that thing again, though, because you need like a special tool for that. So again, that's why I don't think it. When you add in the fact that he comes back with a backpack, does make me think that this is all connected. And I think they thought that they were going to disable this camera. But again, even though it would disable, if it affected hers, that Wi-Fi battery operated, I believe would have still worked. I'd still need to ask it some questions, but again, that's pretty wild. Sorry, I'm rambling on here. But that was a great question. Foldable stretcher. I don't know one that's that small. It's certainly possible. Oh, David says yeah. So each wire is numbered to match the. Oh wow, yeah. You probably know much more than I do. David, you should be doing this. The jackets. Look at the difference in the jackets. If we get time, we'll come back. We'll definitely come back. For sure. David, yeah, boy, yeah, it seems like you definitely know a lot more, when it comes to that kind of stuff. Military trained. Again, I think it's I always try to, after doing what I do for so long, covering true crime, I find it's always good to try to be open minded with and try to play devil's advocate. That way you know keeping an open mind. I know a lot of people think inside job and Domestic abuse and stuff like that is, usually it is statistically someone close to that person. So sadly, um, but then there is a lot of signs, such as the ransom, if it's true, and the fact that the family addressed the ransom. I know setting up a Bitcoin. I know setting up like a Bitcoin account wouldn't be hard. Again, I've never done one, but I know it's not that hard. But to have an untraceable one, I don't know how much. I'm sure there's YouTube tutorials on it, but clearly they weren't able to trace that particular one. Clearly they arrested or took the false one in. But so it does show to me like there could be some signs of these guys, if it was more of an outside, or at least one of them was hired that had knowledge of you know uh, wiring systems, electrician, whatever you name it, tech savvy, I guess would be the best way to just kind of generalize it. Then we have the signal jammer. So that's been very controversial. We will look at some suspects and we'll look at the heights. And if you guys want, I can overlay the gate if I can get a video. And also the tattoo. I did more work on the tattoo, so we'll definitely go over that. But let's look at the signal jammer. And I'll look at chat while we do this. See that there is some kind of what appears to be an. I do think this is more likely a walkie-talkie. Just because of the shape and a lot of Wi-Fi jammers. I mean, there's like one that has like one antenna, but like a lot of them you see they're actually, a lot of them are like really tiny. And then there's some that look like really bulky when you Google them, but like when you see a video of like certain person using them, like he's got like what looks like almost like an Apple Watch that allows them to disrupt it. So I would lean more towards a walkie-talkie, but it's interesting because they talk about the signal jammer being a possibility. And then I guess that would lean more towards, again, also the argument that at least one of these suspects are, tech savvy antenna in his right jacket pocket. But I've also noticed when you look at it from an angle, there is one particular shot that I've discovered, and that shot is right here, and we can see that there is almost a kind of rectangular, almost like a walkie-talkie, which Wi-Fi jammers do kind of look like as well. There's many different models, and there's the antenna that is sticking out, but we can see the device, and it's almost as if the antenna is. But when you look at this one, I swear you can actually almost see the interface as if, like the walkie-talkie, not a Wi-Fi, not a jammer, but you can see the rectangular part of it here. And then it almost, especially when you do a negative, it looks like that's like the interface of the walkie-talkie, like those ones that you could buy off Amazon. Kind of popping out right here, and then we can see some kind of rectangular. But there is some debate on the Wi-Fi jammer, and here's an expert talking about it, and it just maybe 5 minutes. I think it's very interesting. He does talk about the pros and cons and what you might see about the jammer, what it would do, and then about the outage. It's kind of interesting. And then Brian Ente comes in and kind of, argues kind of both sides. So it's kind of nice to see. But yeah, let's play this real quick. And then we'll move into the surveillance, and then we'll look at Tommaso.
in Tucson for us tonight, and also has been on the story since day one. We also have with us Paul Powers. He's the founder and CEO of FISNA, an AI-driven 3D search and analytics company. 2019, he was one of Forbes magazine's 30 under 30. Show off, but great to have you here nonetheless. All right, Brian, I want to start with you. Okay. It seems investigators are taking this theory pretty seriously, but can you provide more clarity on it? Like how widespread it was, how long this would have lasted, this jammer situation? Was it just one night? I mean, what do we know about it?
So we know this started because we found out that the FBI agents were asking the neighbors if they experienced an internet disruption or outage right around the time that Nancy Guthrie went missing, which was around 2 a.m. on February 1st. Come to find out, one of the neighbors who lives behind Nancy Guthrie tells me that he realized that the two Ring cameras on the back of his house, so the part that are actually closest to Nancy Guthrie's house, became inactive during that time period, which has never happened before. And he's, of course, reported that now to the FBI. Also interesting, Jesse, one of his dogs actually woke up at that same time, which he says is very unusual in the middle of the night, and wanted to go outside and then was staring in the direction of Nancy Guthrie's house.
So let me ask about this, Paul. Based on what we're seeing here, I'm going to leave the floor to you. You saw the video, the picture where it might appear that this suspect has a jammer in the back pocket. You heard the description laid out by Brian. Is this all consistent with somebody purchasing and using some sort of jamming signal device? What would it do? Does it seem consistent?
It does, considering the proximity. So these Wi-Fi jammers typically have a range of between like 30 to 100 feet. And so the investigators are doing exactly what you'd expect them to do, calling around asking, did everybody's Wi-Fi signal get jammed at the exact same time? And considering that it was the two Ring cameras on the backside of the house closest to Nancy Guthrie's house, it sounds like it was probably a pretty short-range Wi-Fi jammer. We can't know for sure, though, but if you look at the router logs and see, did Wi-Fi signal go down, but was the internet still on, but the Wi-Fi signal was lost? In other words, if you had an Ethernet connection, you would still be connected to the internet, but you lose the Wi-Fi signal, because that's actually what's being jammed. It's not the internet, it's just the Wi-Fi signal.
And by the way, the router wouldn't pick it up, right?
Well, what happened is the router would, you lose the connection between the device and the router, right?
Okay.
So the connection that you're looking for is either a 2.4 gigahertz or a 5 gigahertz connection. So that frequency gets jammed by those handheld Wi-Fi jammers. And so if you see that, for instance, the internet's still active, but suddenly you've lost connection to one of those devices that was connected by Wi-Fi, and that happened with multiple devices, that would definitely indicate that it was probably a Wi-Fi jammer.
Just want to follow up on that, Paul, because you might look at the photos and the videos that were taken from Nancy's Ring camera of this suspect. It's quite clear in quality, and the fact that we have it, would that suggest that perhaps there wasn't a jammer used?
That's actually what I've been wondering this entire.
So what he just brought up, and I know that that went a little bit fast. I had to kind of speed up some of these videos, and I think I accidentally sped that up a little too much. So I do apologize, but I don't want to get any copyright or anything from them playing these in his clips. But basically, what Jesse asks is probably the best question, because apparently, if you use a jammer, and if the video is still recording, and apparently it still could be possible, because apparently this particular device, even though if a jammer was used, it would still record, and because it has a cloud system, it would almost send it to the cloud before all the stuff gets disabled or whatever. Again, it's much out of my wheelhouse, but what I understand, the biggest argument is if there was a Wi-Fi jammer, you would see, and I'm not sure how I'm sure there's probably an example on the internet somewhere, but it would have affected the video in some way. There should have been technically some kind of I don't know if it shows up as static or what, or if the video just kind of degrades. But typically that is something that when I research that end of it, that's what would come up if a jammer was being used and near a device, that has Wi-Fi and it's recording, video. It would, because it's sending radio frequencies at 2 gigs or 5 gigahertz, whatever, it would create issues with the video, from what I understand. But anyway, yeah, so he said it is possible, just to break it down in layman's terms. The guy said, yeah, it's certainly possible.
time. So the thing is, you can jam a signal and still actually get the video uploaded. So when you're using Ring, 99% of the time that footage gets uploaded to the cloud. So it's actually possible that you have a Wi-Fi jammer, and it just so happens that the footage gets uploaded before the Wi-Fi signal's jammed. What's perplexing about it, though, is why did he physically remove the camera if you had a Wi-Fi jammer? Unless it was just to be extra safe, I guess. Maybe that.
Yeah, and that is the other big argument. Yeah, if you got the Wi-Fi jammer, why would you be worried about blocking your stuff if the jammer was on? And if I understand, I've seen like one of those devices used in a YouTube video, and it'll lock on to a particular. I don't know if it's the IP or the it'll find a Wi-Fi signal, and then it'll lock onto that one, just like as if you're scanning for Wi-Fi and you pull up all your neighbors' different names for their stuff. It would be like that, from what I understand, at least from one of the videos I've seen. Again, much out of my wheelhouse.
That's the case.
Well, see, so Brian, let me go back to you. Nobody knows this case better than you. Two parts to this. Does it make sense to you that this was so professional, this was so organized, using a device like this? And also, has there been any evidence that that is actually some sort of jamming device in the back pocket, that it is an antenna? What have you been hearing from your sources and on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's possible that it was a walkie-talkie, Jesse. I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah. Again, it does look much more like a walkie-talkie. Because a lot of the ones, even though when you Google jammers, they look like really big, or there's these small ones, Wi-Fi jammer. See if this will come up as the ones that, I mean, there's ones like this, but there's ones that I've seen, yeah, kind of like look like a garage door opener. One that I've seen used in a video. Yeah, a lot of these ones, I don't know, these look like routers. Even though they say jammers. Again, I don't know. But they certainly have a ton of antennas if these are what they say they are. Which we don't see. I'm sure that would have been very noticeable in his coat pocket. But anyway. Also, for MS-13 gang have wrist tattoos. Ooh, interesting. Joel, it's definitely possible. I would say, if it's not like the inner circle, I would say, like landscaper friends, somebody that knew, that it was Savannah Guthrie's mother, and they had money. Again, nothing was stolen from the home, so it seems like her, to me at least anyway, she was the target, not what was in the home, because again, the guy's got a full backpack, right? Not an empty one. So to me, it seems like they had all the tools to, and of course, the floodlight area was allegedly tampered with. So I think they knew exactly what they were doing with that. So then, all right, let me know in chat. Do we guys want to look at the tattoo? Because I have enhanced it some more. Maybe run down that first, and then we'll look at Tommaso. If anybody knows, I mean, I guess I can look while we're find an area where I can pause. I can look up, see if I can find a video where he's walking. If anybody knows, it can email me. I haven't seen anybody email me a video, at least I know of. But yeah, the landscapers, again, I want to be very careful. This was the crew that helped her. These are the name of the services that worked with Nancy Guthrie's home. So, could it be, one of these workers told a friend about who they worked for, and then got the idea. Of course, here is, yeah, I guess now looking at it, what's the height? What's the height of her? We should know the height of her, right? Someone's going to tell me in the chat before I get to it. Where's her thing? There it is. Okay, so she's 5'4". I mean, it's tough. Yeah, I could see about 5'10". Her being 5'4". I mean, it's tough. He's slanted a little bit. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, I could maybe use that one. Maybe I'll pull that one if you guys want me to. I could look at the gate. If that's the best one that shows him walking.
Real quick, Joseph, I understand you might have two theories about getting definitely closer.
At the door. I think that is significant because this is an act of violence. And, we have confirmed, or they have confirmed at least, that is.
Okay. This is an interesting video. I'll save that after we go over the tattoo, and I will. Oh, and there they are, right there. Yeah, let's go over the tattoo real quick. Okay. Let me start it here. If anybody missed this. Sharon says, "Hey, Chris and chat mod. So glad you're on this, Chris. You do great work. Twins from Michigan. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that." Yeah, they did, Alan. They allegedly cleared, or I don't know if they used the word cleared. They just said that they ran polygraphs. Did they say the word clear? But yeah, they or passed, or they just said they took the polygraphs. I forget the exact verb. So now we move on to, but yeah. So since I did this the other day, I ran a little bit more enhancement on this tattoo, because to me, I mean, if you can identify a tattoo, I would definitely be yeah, well, let's see. There's tons of videos out there. Piece of Jesus. All right, but moving on to the tattoo, because the tattoo is huge. So here's what I had the other day, and then I enhanced it even more. I know this has been brought up a lot. Ruled out. So here we are with a close-up of the tattoo, and we can see that it's almost kind of a rectangular box. And we see a bit of shadow right here, but we don't see much else except for down here. And then when we look at the negative, we can also see the tattoo again in the negative form here. and we can kind of see how it brightens up a little bit, and it almost appears as if there's something to start just at the sleeve. And in my opinion, now, again, this is something more new. I mean, I knew about the tattoo, but I never really kind of focused on it until last week, technically. And I found two more frames that really show some interesting stuff that I believe further suggests that this is potentially a cross. Some people could say, it's a sword. Either way, getting that out there, I think, is very important. If we look at both of these in paint, I think what we're looking at is we're looking at something like this, along with something that's coming out here. But then it also darkens right here in this area. And as we can see over here, although it does kind of look like it cuts over a little bit, I think that may just be kind of the shadowing a little bit. But if we get rid of those and we just take the outline, I think what we're looking at, plus with the shadow, I think it's going to be no surprise that what I believe we're looking at is some kind of cross tattoo. And we're getting almost what a shaded or a 3D kind of tattoo of the cross. And that makes sense of why it's a little bit darker on the right side. That's fine. Just like this, just the opposite way. Here's another good one that would kind of resemble what we may be looking at, where it's the shadow to make it look more 3D-ish, considering where the wrist is at. I think this is towards the head of the cross, and we can almost see, and there's a couple of frames, about 1 or 2 frames, where we can actually see the extension of the other part here. But I think this is the head of the cross, and the shadowing is of something of this sort, kind of a shaded 3D tattoo. And that is what we are looking for, is somebody with possibly a cross. Kind of you think in the comments down below. Okay. So since I put that out, again, I worked on it a little bit yesterday and a lot today before I went live. So if you can, please hit that like button. Please share your love. 'Cause this takes a lot of time to kind of slow down the frames, get the coloring just right. And I just want to reiterate, beware of any colored versions you see online. A lot of them are, probably 99% of them are AI. And they show something different. And so be very careful with that. Because again, I've seen one that was kind of strolling around. Looks like they took, one of the shots that I had, not from me personally, but they took one of those screenshots, and then it looks like they probably just tried to run AI through it, have it colored, and then it kind of tried to interpretate the tattoo, and it added more that's not there. That makes sense. So anyway, here we go. Here is a new enhanced image of this, and to me, again, if it's a Latin cross, or you're looking at the handle and the hilt of the sword, there is about 1 or 2 frames that I found that really show it a lot better. And I'll show it here. Oh, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. on the right side. There's something over here that I'm still trying to figure out. And so I don't know if you're talking about there's something that looks like over here, if that's what you're talking about, David. I've noticed that. I can't tell if it's shadow related or if it is part of the tattoo. But I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. And that's a great question because, is it part of the tattoo or, oh, thanks, Sharon. But again, when you look at that now, this is enhanced a little bit better, not AI enhanced, but it's just sharpened up, clearer image. And again, the big thing to notice is the shadowing versus what you have over here. And again, that is very common with Latin cross tattoos because they have that. Again, there's obviously that doesn't mean that's what it is, but that is very common for the kind of like the 3D shape. But here I'm going to show more of the horizontal part. So again, much better brightness. You can really see the shadowing in there, and notice the this darkness here. It's going to be important here. But this one here shows a little bit better. I think the lighting hit it just right where we can kind of see more of the other side where it, that we know that it's not just something here and it's just, we definitely know that there are two lines. You can definitely see it in the negative as well. Oh, thank you, Sassy. But if you notice, it's coming up right here. This frame right here, and I zoom it in here in just a second. But here is another good shot of where you can actually see the part of the horizon, horizontal horizon, the horizontal part. And there it is. And you can even see this is the second frame. It actually comes out fuller, which makes me happy because, again, you never know when you're working with something that's, you got lighting. Depending on, well, I mean, there's really no lighting, but there is the infrared that's coming through. I don't know if he had his flashlight on, so I don't know, but so you never know if there's going to be any kind of shadowing, kind of creating around the cuff. That's what I was worried about. But with this frame here, it comes up much more over the sleeve versus that one that I was showing before. I know it's not much, but the fact that it is shown here a lot thicker definitely tells me, and I'm going to zoom it in here. Give me 1 second. I'll look at chat. Or did I not zoom it in? Oh, I may not have. But yeah, that is. So that's the one where originally I thought was a good one, where you could start to see the horizontal part. But when he moves right there, that frame really shows the start to the horizontal piece. Whether, again, could be a sword, and then I'm trying to run AI to maybe get like, I don't know, like the size of it. And again, this also matches kind of the size of a basic cross where somebody gets. Definitely could be a sword. For sure. Yeah, it could be the hilt of the sword. Yeah, it could be the handle. The only reason I lean more towards a cross is because of the shadowing. Again, as I've shown in the examples, just very common that people get those kind of 3D type Latin crosses. I guess that's what you'd call them, shaded. Um, and again, this almost matches it nearly, well, I wouldn't say 1 for 1, but darn near close. But yeah, it could definitely be a sword too. Still looking to see if I can enhance anything else. Again, there's only so much to work with, but I think you consider the position of where it's at on his wrist. Consider Latin crosses are pretty popular. Not to say there probably could be other tattoos, but yeah. And here is one actual color, and that one is probably the best that I have seen, and that is the screenshot I was talking about. And that this one is real to some degree because that is exactly there is this little piece of the, I don't know if that's the glove or the sleeve that kind of comes over right here, but I mean, again, it much darker here. But yeah, sword or cross. Again, would shading on a cross have angles? I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're mentioning this right here. And so the only thing I wonder, could this be part of a lighting issue? Or is it that way and it could be something different? So again, yes, you make a great point, Chris. Oh, thank you, Bridget. I appreciate that. But yeah, I do see where it does appear to be slightly angled. Um, but I just wonder, is it only because we can't, like, there's maybe a little bit something being blocked here that it really is fully shadowed right here and it just looks like it curves over and we're just not getting that darkness just because of, we only have a few frames of it and so it doesn't fully show up. Or it could be shadowed at an angle. For sure, it could be definitely both ways. Somebody mentioned a gang. I don't know if that would relate to the tattoo as far as what I have. I mean, the sword is what they're trying to say is this would be like the handle, right? And then the hilt, right? So then the pointy part of the sword, sharp end would be down here if it was a sword. It's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. Interesting. That is what I was trying to look up, like with Latin crosses. Now, this particular area, Tucson, it's almost split 43% white, 43% Hispanic, and then the rest is black, Asian, etc. So it's almost 50-50 white and Hispanic in Tucson. Arizona, it's a little bit, changes a little bit. It's still, like, I think, close to 40% Hispanic in the statewide, but in this particular town, it's 50-50, more or less. So, okay, I will pull up the video. Let me just play this just for a second. Is it this one? Oh, is that him walking? I'll see if I can find that video with him walking. I personally don't think, at least the suspect that we see on camera, because of the mustache, I don't think it lines up. But somebody did mention the beard. Oh, that's what I forgot. The beard. Anybody know about the beard that was mentioned? I may have to look at that. Does anybody, let me know in chat if anybody heard about, like, allegedly the beard being seen somehow through the mask. If that is a rumor, I could take a look at that, because I've never really kind of zoomed in on the mask part. But let me play this just for a second while I snag Tommaso walking. Oh, I agree, Sherry. I think it's Sherry, right? Or I'll just go with Jess, just in case I get that wrong. But yeah, I mean, I grew up. I'm white, but my best friend's Hispanic and Native American. So my two best friends growing up, I was kind of like the minority. Not really, but you know, the three amigos. So in Utah here, you know, we have a pretty, I'm not sure what the stats are, but yeah, the Hispanic community, obviously, I'm not going to get into that because, yeah, but yeah, wonderful people and hard workers, that's for sure. When I worked, yeah, at a particular place for the government, yeah, there was a lot of Hispanic Americans. Okay, let me play this for just a second, and I will see if I can pull this video up real quick. I think this is, yeah, Joseph Scott. I think this was taken today or last night.
They could be locksmiths, although I'm not sure that really makes any sense.
Okay, so yeah, this was either yesterday or today. They said that there was more people showing up, and this is where they're talking about it here.
You might have two theories about what may have happened to Nancy that we might not be thinking of.
Well, yeah. I mean, first off, I think that, you know, going with what Brian is saying about the blood deposition there in the front at the door, I think that is significant because this is an act of violence.
Down the cross.
And, you know, we have confirmed, or they have confirmed at least, that is Mrs. Guthrie's blood that was deposited there. I have my own thoughts about the nature of the deposition and what it kind of stems from. And that was a sudden taking, if you will. The one shot there where you have that kind of expirated blood that is in that large patch. You've got the larger elements of blood there, that expirated blood, which I think are the tiny little dots right there. That's evidence of somebody probably coughing or sneezing out blood deposition from right there. And this blood is not indicative of, say, having a cut on your hand and it just kind of free falling.
And then you have this other idea about her age and her being a vulnerable victim?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys realize how many cases I've worked over the course of my career in Atlanta and New Orleans that involved a ransom? Zero. You know, the cases I have worked, elder abuse. I've had people that have taken advantage of the elderly because they knew that they had money and they bum rush them into their house and they snatch them out of there, or they do terrible things like murder inside of the house. She's a much more valuable target to them if they have foreknowledge of whose mother she was. Right. That doesn't take a deep dive here. And so if they think that they can get anything out of her, so I think that comes to local knowledge. Who knows this? Is this somebody's, grandson that might be in the neighborhood that has some knowledge that's been talking about this for a protracted period of time? Right. I wonder if it's gang related. I wonder what they're pressing relative to the gang associations in Pima County, because this smacks of this relative to targeting her, right, taking her out.
And Brian, I'll give you a chance to respond to that since you've been on the ground and know this case better than anybody else. But also, I wanted your response to where the sheriff says they're definitely closer to finding a suspect. But I mentioned before,
Yeah, certainly curious about that. Okay. Oh, where are you going? We're back here. Let me go full screen for this so I can record it real quick. I can overlay it. That's a pretty good shot if it stays that way. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go full screen on this. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like they're about the same height there. But again, the mustache. I mean, as far as like him being the guy in the video, in my opinion, I mean, yeah, he could still be involved, but I mean, that mustache definitely does not fit the suspect. Where's that close up of him? Yeah, I mean, I know there's already probably been side by sides of him. Yeah, I mean that was a much different mustache. And I don't think he could. I know he was seen pretty recently, right after. I mean, this looks like a much younger guy. Again, maybe it's inside job, but I don't think he was the guy there. Maybe again the former bandmates. Is it former bandmates? It looks like, yeah. I guess it depends on where they're walking. I mean, I guess that. I mean, if anything, they're not much taller than or difference between those two, in my opinion. Unless there was just a weird grade that one was walking on that made one look, well, they looked about the same height. But yeah, I don't think this is Tomas. But anyway, I forgot. Let me go back to the chat. Did anybody mention? Yes, thank you. I thought Interview Room said something about it. I'm like, man, because of course I love Chris McDonough. I'd love to have him on the channel. Oh, especially about.
We continue to track the very latest on the disappearance and search for Nancy Guthrie as we reach.
And again, yeah, goatee. Okay. I can do what I usually do, where I'll take the video and see if we can find a goatee. If you guys want to do that, um, I can definitely try. Um, Let me put this full screen for just a second. I'll run and grab that. Again, if you guys can, hit that like button. If you can, please show support. And I'll be back, and I will try to work on see if we can see if there's a goatee. But I gotta get this Phil Moore working for a second here and get his video. So give me 1 second. I'll go full screen for just a second so I can grab this thing real quick.
33 days since she was taken from her home. In a new development today, the FBI paid another visit to Nancy Guthrie's Catalina Foothills home. That happened earlier this afternoon. And that is an image of the federal agents at the scene around 2 p.m. Our Andrew Capasso was there and tells us the agents are simply saying that they were following up on tips and leads. They went on to say this is simply standard procedure. And as the investigation continues in the search of Nancy Guthrie, News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia sat down with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos today, asking the questions you, our viewers, sent to us. She joins us live from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And Monica, what did the sheriff reveal to you today?
We began by asking what role digital evidence could play in the case.
Cell phone data, pings, cameras. I mean, how much are you guys leading into that information, that evidence?
You know, it could be a cell tower dump, could be analyzing the cell phone.
So there is still digital evidence that you guys are waiting on to.
Well, we're analyzing all the time, yes.
We also asked about the more than.
Mother-in-law Thomas O stopped by that makeshift memorial outside their mother's home. The three were clearly emotional as they hugged each other and left a note. Savannah later posted a picture of the memorial on her Instagram and wrote, "We feel the love and prayers from our neighbors, from the Tucson community, and from around the country. Please don't stop praying and hoping with us. Bring her home."
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you to Star. Man, I hope I pronounce it right. I'm just gonna say Star for now, Starfield or something like that. Went away, but thank you so much for the PayPal. Really helps me out. Um, and a special thank you to I forgot to grab these. Jen for gifting a Mob Crew membership and Sassy gifting a Mob Crew membership. I had those pulled up earlier and I got sidetracked. I am so sorry. Thank you guys so much for the support. Melissa Wildcar, member for 13 months. You rock, Chris. Thank you so much. It makes it worth it spending this time trying to break down these surveillance videos. Goatee, where are you? I will find you. All right. So we've got video number 2 with us. Let's speed this up for a second so we can find it. Let's see. Oh, I need to zoom out for a second so I can see where we're at. Okay, so we got that. Might have something right there. And he walks away there. And we've got, let's see, this one here. Take this one. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go portrait. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Portrait mode. Okay. I see a gap. All right, and we're gonna raise the color temperature just a little bit. Too much. That's that right there. A little bit of black. A little bit exposure. All right. And we take that. Okay. So far, I see mask. Actually, let me have it fully zoomed out, just in case if I miss something first. Did they say where exactly they thought the goatee was at? Did they just think there was volume under his chin? Let's zoom this in here. And slow it down just a little bit. Just trying to get all of the nonsense out of the way. What about when he blocks it? Uh, oh, Melissa. Oh, medium. Yeah, I thank you, Melissa. Yeah. Although I do believe there are some good ones out there, I don't know. Doing this for 4 years, I yeah. But thank you. So I'm assuming it's got to be talking about maybe the volume of the mask. If anybody knows, let me know in chat. There you are, big guy. Bear with me just a second. Almost done. Hmm. Okay, so these are all the frames that he is in there. Let's get rid of those. Alright. Till he blocks his face. Oh, there's something right there. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that. This, I think. Bear with me, bear with me. Take that. Oh, nope, don't do that. Up. Okay, let's take you, move you there. You are. Yeah. There. Oh, that's reverse. Okay, that one's on top. Okay. And there's an opening right here. Yep, there it is. Okay. I need to right there. That over. Let's see. I haven't played with the colors on that. Okay, that one's got the colors. Does this one got the colors? Okay, they all have their colors. I need to turn this one up. Okay, then is then I'm gonna do this. That. All right. Last thing. I gotta do it to both of these. Boop. What you hiding in there? What you hiding in there, little guy? Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see something. Take that. There. Okay. All right, so we got the shorter one. I think we can overlap that right there. Aha. Okay, would negative work better? I think that's what he's talking about, right? Let me know in chat. Sorry, I haven't looked at chat yet. I think that is what we're looking at. Boom, he pops it there. That's it right there. Right, yeah, because that's got a pretty dark shadow to it. Okay. I don't know if I want to throw a negative on this or not. Let's do one negative and one not. And then take color. Man, I wonder if there's a way I could extract these flowers out. Okay, let me go full screen. So here it is. Allow me to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go full screen so you guys can see it. But yeah, there's something that's very. It's got a shadow. He may have what the hell? Something I can't grow. I can't think of it this second. But yeah, it looks like it appears. So I have to go full screen so you guys can see this. Yeah, you'll be able to see the mustache and everything. So here we go. I'm gonna go full screen so you can see it. Let me know what you guys see here. Is that what it's called? A soul patch? Yeah, the fact that it has that lighting that's very similar to his mustache right here. I might have to let me go counter negative on this one actually, the close up one. Let me sharpen. Oh, is it gonna let me sharpen these? One, sharpen. Where did that go? Not in effects. I'm really careful with that. Anyway, Counter negative. Let's see, real quick. We're gonna take a screenshot of it real quick. I'm gonna just see. Oh, okay. Now, is it the shadow coming off? That's such a... Wait, does it move with him? Wait, does that shadow move with him? Hold on. That's the question. Does it move with the brush? Unless there's one... it's tough. Man, that is so tough right there. I can't tell. Can jammers? I don't think so. I think that was ass, but I don't... Oh man, that is tough. I think if this is what they're talking about, I see the shadow move it right here. See how it like went down. Oh shoot, can you see that? Let me go full screen. Oh yeah, you can. Now it goes down right there, and then one more frame over. It's straight. I think that is the brush coming back onto his face. I don't know. That's tough. Because there you can see it in there. But I don't know. I'll have to watch the video. I don't know if they pointed it out or not. I'd love to look at it and see. But I think we have a good idea of the eyebrows and the mustache at least, but I'm not sure about the alleged goatee. I'd have to go look exactly what they're looking at. They call it a soul patch. That's wild. Uh, no, not the pacemaker itself. That doesn't run on. Well, I don't know how all that works. I guess we could just ask Chat GPT. I'm sure it would say, it would tell me. Nancy Guthrie. Jammer. Didn't I have Jammer? Wasn't I talking about Jammer in here? Yes, Jammer is in here. Would a Wi-Fi jammer cause any issues with a pacemaker and or its app. Oh, on Apple. Jeez. Space. Apple Watch or phone. My fat fingers. I used to be a better typer. I got big hands. Would a Wi-Fi jammer cause any issues with the pacemaker and or its app or on Apple Watch or phone? Would not interfere with the pacemaker itself, but it could interfere with the phone watch app that it communicates with. That would make sense. Depending on how the system connects. But yeah, obviously it wouldn't affect her pacemaker. Oh yeah, pacemaker is Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi. Unless it's using the Wi-Fi. Again, that's the pacemaker uses Bluetooth, right? So if it's 2.4 gigahertz, because now a lot of internets are the 2.4 or the 5 gig. So yeah, wouldn't affect the pacemaker itself, but could disrupt the phone phone or watch app. So I think that's another, but again, I guess it would be close. Been interesting to know the floor plan and how the distance is on those devices. Yeah, but that's a good question though. I think maybe that leans more towards a Wi-Fi jammer wasn't used, but I still think they may have. Um, yeah, I don't think it was a burglary. No, I mean, because the guy has a backpack. His backpack's full. He was there to take her. I think. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. Perp cannot trim his mustache worth of time. He lacks mobilization in his right hand. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, let's see if there's any updates or finish up here. Uh. Three. Ransom. Yeah, I definitely. Oh wow. Really? Nanos got hit with the $1 million lawsuit. Uh-oh. Someone's trying to take. Wow. I mean, it's not funny. The timing is kind of messed up, though. So something to do with the pandemic and putting his family or his life in danger. Protocols. An inmate at the Pima County Jail. Maybe they didn't take the protocols in the beginning. They weren't doing the proper protocols. I don't know. Wow, $1 million. For an apology and a whooping 1 million, so you can donate to 2 apartment buildings used to house formerly homeless. I mean, that's great and all. But that's weird timing. It's almost like he's trying to take advantage of all this and piggyback off Nancy Guthrie's stuff. Anyway, last thing is still the utility box. That's Wikipedia. I'll have to hear more about, see what they said. Yeah, the timing of it. Yeah, I'm sure somebody's taken advantage of the timing of him being in the news and everything. Oh, thank you so much, Geneva. Yeah, exactly, David. Yeah, somebody's like, oh, look, he's in the news and he's getting criticized. Let's slam him with the $1 million lawsuit, and then add in that, oh yeah, I'm going to be donating to homeless and stuff, which I don't know. I mean, that happened during the pandemic, and that was 5 years ago. Why'd you wait this long? What's this? This is more about that utility box. I'm really curious about that utility box. I don't know if there's anything new. Yeah, there's that. Cadaver dogs on hold as search enters 5th week. Didn't aren't they're searching with her with I forget the. I'm sure it's in here. Okay. No. No. Oh, that's it. There's more. There's gotta be more. The Cajun Navy. Aren't they out there as well? Trying to help. I thought I saw an interview on that. Oh, thank you, Heather. Yeah, I'm gonna look more into the tattoo, of course, because anything to get the tattoo. Again, even though we don't know exactly what the tattoo is, I think just getting the fact that, because I've done a lot of videos and there's still people be like, oh wow, I didn't realize he had a tattoo. And then there's other ones where I've seen people mention and they've seen the AI ones, the color, like, hey, did you check out the color? And I'm like, no, because, or I mean, I have, but they're not real. Three suspect. And then they talked about how he could be trying to get it covered up. So I think that also needs to get out there. This one pops up. I'm glad the other one isn't popping up because the other one, yeah, it's definitely fake. It has all the right makings. It has the glove. It's kind of basically like this, but it has like, it doesn't have quite like this. It's got a bunch of different designs. It's a little bit clearer, but again, it's AI generated just based off what's in the thing. I guess I should look at the ring as well. I know that's been another thing. I don't think I've ever kind of examined that to see if that's just a crease or if that is a ring. That would be interesting as well. But anyway, I'm sure we'll find out more about the utility box because that's kind of mainly what they've talked about today, and the fact that all these people went out with internet. I don't think that's a coincidence. And again, if you missed earlier, that was only half a mile away, and that would affect her area, according to GPT, the way these utility boxes work. They're kind of like tree branches, and uh, you know, even though there may be ones that are closer, if you affect one that's further out and they're connected, it would still affect certain individuals. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jess. Oh, that's terrible. You were on the front lines. Oh, that was a terrible time. I'm sorry. Yeah, David. So I was looking that up. It's such a great question because that's what I was wondering. There's one report where, again, it's not like a quote, but they kind of say like, "Oh, their internet went out before she went missing." So again, it's kind of like catch 22 because it's like, well, when, is exactly, you know, was that when she was reported? And you're saying that happened before, so you know, I don't know, but yeah, it would be nice to know, like, if we had more of a timing, because I think then of course we would know for sure if that was done at night during January 31st. I mean, come on, that's definitely related. And then I think that would suggest that at least one of the suspects um, clearly have knowledge and, electrician. Um, and yeah, so I have to be careful just with that kind of stuff. I mean, of course, there's nothing wrong with looking all down to all the rabbit holes. I understand it. I have to be careful on this channel going down certain avenues like that because it's just obviously very sensitive topic for sure. Um, yeah. So anyway, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the mods. Appreciate it. Sensei, Pocahontas, Sassy. Uh, Tomorrow or definitely Wednesday will be the day we go over Sebastian. Of course, there was some wild stuff in the news today about uh, a, a PDF file that was apparently um, in the chat with when Crispy and the Stink Feet did their second interview with Duchess. A PDF file was in the on the panel, and he was recently I don't want to say caught. Well, I mean, in a way, caught. I don't know if the charges have been brought yet, but yeah. So anyway, that's a whole wild thing. So yeah, could the mustache be fake? Sorry, yeah, Geneva. That's a good question. It could be. Thank you, Sassy, again, for another gifted mob crew. I don't know if I miss. Sometimes they double for some reason. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, I missed this news. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll have a short video on this case tomorrow. Hopefully the video will be ready tomorrow. That's kind of where I've been picking up all the subscribers. So, but I do appreciate everybody taking their time out of their Monday, Tuesday, wherever it's at for you, Monday or morning, afternoon, night. God bless you guys so much. For the members, and this is just for the members, we are going to be collecting pets for anybody that hasn't sent in their pets. Again, this is just for the members. It's for my outro that I do usually most nights. So we will be collecting those probably towards the end of the week. I'll try to do it once a month. It just makes it easier and do it all together. So if you are a member or newer member and haven't sent in pet in the last 3 or 4 months, then email me. And with that, I'm going to play an outro and we will see you guys likely Wednesday, but I should have some stuff for the members and Patreons tomorrow. Hopefully I get it done. Oh, thank you, Heather. Whatever. I appreciate it. You guys are. Yeah. All right. God bless you guys. Have a good one.
Gone somewhere and dyed my hair now. Wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care, and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you. Now you'll beg me, please. Hey. Now I stay away. You were never meant to save me. Now I stay away. I don't hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you.